Hey y'all, it's me, Cody. Welcome to the CodiKnits podcast. This is episode 101. I'm Cody, and this is Diamond. Thank you. Say hello. You can find me on Ravelry as CodiKnits, and you can find me on Instagram as Cody_knits, and Cody spelled CODI. That's where I'm most active, really, is Instagram. So I have a lot to go through with you today. I'm super excited. I've got a big pile of things to share with you. I hope you all have been doing really well. I've been doing much better the last couple of weeks. I really appreciate everyone's kind words and everything from the last podcast. So I'm sitting here in the living room. Kirby went to see her mom over the weekend, and so I've had the apartment to myself this weekend, and she is actually on her way back now, but I wanted to film a podcast because I think I'm going to be losing light. I think there's some thunderstorms rolling in. I planned to film this earlier this morning, but I got up and, about 6:30, 6:45, this one wakes me up, usually to go outside and potty. And so by the time I go outside and get back upstairs, I just get up and have coffee. And so I did some reading, and then I, of course, had my coffee while I was reading, and then I did some knitting while I was watching a podcast, a new podcast that's out. It's called On the Needles, and it is hosted by Kathy and Nancy. Nancy, you've heard me mention before as the dyer for Trilogy Yarns, and her friend Kathy, who actually writes like knitting blogs and stuff. Really cool. They did a podcast, and it was really great. They're both beautiful knitters, and you should go and definitely check it out. If you search in YouTube On the Needles, you'll find it. They pop up. So yeah. If you hear any weird noises, I do have the washing machine going. It's Sunday, doing the laundry. But I have lots to show you. I'm excited to jump right in with all of that. So, I have a few finished objects. I've been finishing up things that's been kind of in my whip pile for a while. So the first couple of things, I've worked on these before, and I can't remember if I've ever showed you, but I've had them in for a while. And look at them. These cute little bunnies. These were a kit I got from Barrett Wool Co. Susan B. Anderson. I'm sure you're familiar with her yarn company. She designed these cute little rabbits, and it's knit out of their yarn, with their wool, which is wonderful. And yeah, these were super fun. You don't have a lot of seam. You don't have any seaming to do or anything. So brilliant. I wish I could turn the camera around. There's a red cardinal sitting on the balcony. We've put up this little bird seed thing on the balcony. I think last time I mentioned we have the hummingbirds, and then we put this little bird seed. It's like a hanging basket that's like really shallow, but we put seed on there that's no mess seed, so there's not a lot of shells or anything. But sometimes there's some seeds that get on the floor for whatever reason, and the little birds knock them out, and the bigger birds, like the cardinals, come and eat them. So it's kind of fun to see them around. So yes, super cute little kit I had. Everything was included in this kit: the stuffing, the little eyes, the floss to do And what I really like about her patterns, if you've never knit any of her toy patterns before, is when you're knitting, she shows you while you're knitting exactly where you're going to need to put things like the eyes, the arms, the feet, with some purl bumps markings and stuff. So it's really, really great. But I thought these were super cute. I have friends who are hoping to have babies soon, and these would be a little cute little gift to give them. This one, I will never knit another bauble in my life. These were little baubles too. I hated knitting the baubles. But it's a cute little decoration on the bottom of our little dress thing. But yeah, I hated knitting the baubles. Super cute. Excuse me for that. I need to take a sip of water. So, sorry, I keep getting distracted by the little birds outside. Saying I needed a sip of water, that reminds me of Tilly Trout. Miss Tilly Trout. I need to see if she's still on like Instagram or something. I used to follow her. She used to have some lovely, if you don't know, the loveliest podcast. She knitted some of the most precious things. But yeah. Next thing I finished was this. I finished it during, this was my Pride cast on. It was during the month of June. Almost said November. I haven't even had November yet. And yeah, it's called the King Drape Scarf by Corrado Lark. Yeah, I really like it. The yarn is Whimsy Stitches. Pride Rainbow, I believe, is the colorway. And it's sparkly. I don't think you can see it, but it does have sparkle in there. And I absolutely love it. This was a fun knit. It was quick. And it's a great size, I think, to wear as a nice little scarf under your jacket. You could spread it out like that, show it off a little bit more, all kinds of things. So yeah, I really like it. Super thrilled with it. I washed it. Oh, and it smells so good. I usually use what's that stuff called? It's Soak. The brand name is Soak, and I use the pink bottle. I think it's like Celebration or Harmony, or I think it's Celebration. It smells amazing. So yeah, I really am glad to have that. And I entered this into Needles at the Ready. They are having a knit along it's called Let's Hear It for the Boys. So it's to highlight male designers and dyers and such in the knitting community. And so I got 2 entries for this because Corrado is a male, and the Rick from Whimsy Stitches, who dyed the yarn, he's a male. So I got to do that. If you haven't watched Needles at the Ready, you definitely should go check them out. They're a wonderful podcast. They're a couple, and Kevin and Ray are their names, and I just really enjoy seeing them and their excitement being podcasters and everything. Their channel is growing super fast, and I'm so happy for them and proud of them. And yeah, I feel like they're my friends that I've never met. So yeah, I've really been enjoying their podcasts. So definitely, I've entered that into their knit along. I have one more finished object. What? So, I forgot the sock blockers, but it's okay. Here they are. I don't even have. I'm a bad podcaster, and I don't have the ball band. But this was Knit Picks Felici, and I can't remember the colorway. But I think the last time I showed you to them, they were the tubes. And the whole purpose of this socks, that I want to do with these socks, they haven't been washed, was because I want to do a true afterthought heel. So I did not, I didn't put like a lifeline or whatever, like a scrap yarn in there anywhere, anything like that. I just measured my toe, from the toe up to where I believed I needed to put the foot, the heel in. And for me, that was, I got really lucky and measured. What I did is I took one of my other socks and I measured from the toe to where the heel was of one of my socks that is has a short row heel on it. And so, from where I needed to do for my foot was from the toe, and I measured in 7.5 inches, and I knit this afterthought heel. And I used Susan B. Anderson's Susan B. Anderson podcast. I really love Susan B. Anderson. She's a wonderful human being and a brilliant teacher and a brilliant pattern writer. But I used her smooth operator sock heel pattern, and very great instructions. I also watched a couple of videos on YouTube on how to pick up the stitches and cut the yarn, and I was a little bit nervous the first time, but it's simple. It's really not that hard. So yeah, I did her heel from the smooth operator sock pattern. She does have another heel in there that has like I think it's a single stitch decrease or something like that. Can't remember, but it just gives a different look up here. So I may try that out. But yeah, they fit. I was happily surprised, pleasantly surprised. This is what I was trying to say, and very happy. So yeah, I got 2 of those. The only thing about these socks are that they're very long, and I typically don't have a leg. I don't knit the legs that long, so I kind of have to scrunch them down a little bit because they come up to my calf, and obviously my calf is bigger than the bottom of my leg, so they get really tight. But if I just scrunch them down, they're perfect for keeping your feet warm, stuff during, like when you're lounging around the house when it's cold out. So that's what they will be used for. And they don't match. They're not matchy, obviously. And then I already talked about this last podcast, how annoyed that made me. The color sequence wasn't even correct, and then it was like half. So yeah, they're the same length. So I was really excited about that. That was the first time doing afterthought heels, and I just it wasn't that hard, really. It was, you measure, and then I just put a little stitch marker, and then picked up the right leg of stitches on the row before and below and the row above, and then I cut the yarn in the middle and unpicked it to the ends. I just made sure there was 32 stitches on each needle. Then you just pick up your yarn for your heel and start knitting basically it's like doing a toe. You do a Kitchener stitch or whatever. I won't say this is my favorite way to do it, but it's really great if you have like some socks and you're out and you're just knitting, you don't want to stop knitting to put in a heel or something like that. You can always go back and do the afterthought heel. The other downside to it is because you cut the yarn there, you do have 2 extra ends to weave in where you have 1 on each side. But the perk to that is if there's any little gap here, you have some yarn to weave that, sew that gap up. Now, I know there's ways to pick up extra stitches and stuff and get rid of the gap, but since it was my first time doing this, I just wanted to do the technique. Yeah, so I'm really happy with that. So those are my 3 finished knitting projects. Yay. I'm gonna set these here. Wait. I have another sip of water. I'm feeling dehydrated. Yesterday, I went out walking with Diamond, and I had a very severe episode of vertigo or something, and I actually had to like lay down in the dirt. It was odd. I was walking, and this has kind of happened to me, and I need to go to the ear, nose, and throat doctor, I think, because this has happened to me in other, like, usually if I'm like in the grocery store or somewhere like that, if I'm walking down the aisles, the things like, especially if I'm looking over and walking, I don't know, the things going by, it starts where they keep moving, even if I stop, and that's very weird sensation. Hey! What is it? You're not getting enough loving today? You're not getting enough attention? Oh, don't break my necklace. And so, but usually if I stop, for a minute, the spinning gets better, and I just leave, and it's okay. Or if I get in a more open area, and just look way off, like it's okay. Tommy, you're gonna break my necklace, and then I'll be not happy with you. You can't break my neck. Yeah. So yeah, that usually happens to me when it's happened in like a grocery store or any kind of store where I'm walking down an aisle. But yesterday I was walking down like the road, like it's like a little trail, but it's paved, and it, like, I don't know if it was because I was looking at my phone there for a couple minutes or what, but I just got incredibly dizzy, and things just wouldn't stop moving, and I just had to lay down. Nobody was around, which is kind of scary, but I'm kind of glad at the same time, because I didn't, but I laid down there and I shut my eyes for a couple seconds and then opened them back up. Everything quit spinning, and then Diamond and I just walked very slowly back home. And so that made me feel kind of nauseous too, doing all that spinning. And so I was a little bit sick to my stomach for the rest of the day. So I didn't really eat a whole lot last night. I tried to drink water and stuff, but anyway, so today I'm feeling a little bit dehydrated, so I'm drinking more water. Anyway, crazy stuff, but I don't know if I have a middle ear issue or what, but I need to go get it checked out someday. Anyway, so let's talk about workups, things I have been working on. Oh, I'm looking and I don't even know where to start. So, in this bag, this is my Harry Potter, Daily Profit bag. And I have this, I put this zipper pull on there. It's a Hufflepuff Pride tag. I think I got this from Aaron at Gimme Yarn 418. So in this bag, I think last time I saw you, I showed you where I had bought this Cascade Ultra Pima cotton, and it's the natural colorway. That's what it's called, natural. The number is 3718. And it's 100% Pima cotton. It's 100 grams, and there's 220 yards. And it was only $10 a skein. So I've knit a lot on this. So what I have here, sorry, I have it all wrapped up because it tells you to leave a really long end to do some shoulder seaming. But this is the front or the back, whatever, of the tee, and that's showing you, that's the back side. Here you go, here's the front. Sorry, I think the colors, the lighting, there we go, it's a little better. Yeah, it's like a broken rib texture pattern. Easy, it's a 2-row repeat, easily memorized, and I think because it's 2 rows, I just want to do 2 rows every time I knit it and pick it up to knit it, and so it's quick. It was pretty quick. So I've knit now I gotta do the back, and then there's some ways to seam it up or something, and then you put a bunch of tassels. So it's called the what is it called? Galathea tea. This is the name of it. Galathea. So, I don't have a picture of it, but I'll try to get one for you. But it's basically a nice little tee. It's for women. It's a nice, like, summery t-shirt kind of thing, and it's got fringe around the, like you can see, fringe around the sleeves here, and fringe somewhere down toward the bottom. And my godmother, I sent her a picture of that, and it was a free pattern from We Are Knitters or something like that, and she said yeah, she'd really like that. She lives in Florida, so it's really hot there anyway. And so I bought the stuff and I'm knitting it. So got half of it done. I haven't cast on for the front. I just finished that one and just haven't cast on yet. Will soon. And then I have, oh man, I forgot to bring it, but I have I'll probably show it as a finished object next time, but I have cast on a hat. It's the bankhead hat with some extra yarn I had wound up. I'll show you that next time, but I've only done the ribbing, so not really too exciting. And here in my Fringe Supply Co. bag is a pattern that I have a love-hate relationship with. So this is the Kishi shawl. This is what it'll look like. And it is charted lace weight lace shawl. And the yarn is Lost City Knits. The pattern is by them as well. And this is 1,000 yards in 100 grams. The colorway is Cruise. And yeah, they have a website, lostcityknits.com. Picked this up at a show here. And the reason I say I have a love-hate relationship with this is because I have knit and unknit and unraveled multiple times. So yeah, here is where I'm at. Last time I showed you, I was at this lifeline, so I have knit half of another repeat. I've actually knit it a couple of times, but I keep messing up. And I think where I mess up, and so I'm being a lot more conscious about it, is at the end of each row, you do on the right side you do a yarn over, and I think I get so excited at the end I forget to do the yarn over, and then my stitch count gets all off and stuff. But yeah, it's a cute little pattern. I don't know how much you can really see here. So I had finished. This is the first section up here. Something about basket, something. So that's fun. So I've been. This had been in timeout for a little bit because I had gotten off somewhere, and I kept trying to fudge it, and it just didn't work out. So I had to rip it back to the lifeline and pick up the stitches again. And so I just did that a couple of days ago after I had actually finished that Calathea tee, the front or the back or whatever side it's going to be. I had finished it, and I was like, So I just went and undid it and picked up the stitches, and so far I've been paying attention, and everything's looking the way that it's supposed to, and stitch count and stuff, so knock on wood. But this is what it looks like. It's 100% silk. It's a beautiful blue. You can see it's silky, how shiny it is. So this is going to be a beautiful drapey shawl. I don't know for who or what, but I'll probably just keep it because it's such a labor of love. It's beautiful. And I'm really doing it mostly because it is such a beautiful yarn and stuff. I don't really wear a shawl, but I may still want to. The thing is the way I would wear it is it wouldn't really show off all the lace detail on it. So, but hey ho. I think it's good. It's something that keeps my mind engaged, and I'm learning, and it's a little bit of a challenge, and that's a good thing. I like having something like that on the needles, but sometimes it has to go in timeout for a little while so that I don't burn it. So yeah, that's what I do. And if I get frustrated with knitting, because what I'm knitting is supposed to be relaxing and fun for me, and if I start getting frustrated, I just put it away and come back to it. And if I continue to have issues that I can't fix or whatever, it becomes something else. But this is something that I really want, and I want it to be as close to perfect as I can get it. And with the lace, things have to line up a certain way for this pattern to make so that it looks right, and I really want to make sure that that I do that. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So that's my other whip, and I have knit a little bit. This is in my library bag from Bags by Awesome Granny. I've knit a little bit on my northeasterly blanket. So this is what I have done so far. I have woven in the ends, except for at the top, obviously. And then I started this row, so I don't have those woven in yet. But yeah, it's just really fun to do when I just don't really know what I feel like knitting. I just pick this up and knit, and yeah, I'm loving it. Having a lot of fun with that. So I've also done a lot of spinning. What? Who am I? Yeah, so I have been doing some spinning, and this is what I'm spinning. I'm not sure what it is, but Kirby thinks it is a good chance that it's BFL. I mean, it's really soft, and it's this beautiful brown color. It's like hues of brown and chocolate and a little bit of black in there, And so I've got this much left, and I got this bobbin and one more that's almost full. So yeah, that's kind of fun. This little guy is gonna just spinning it. It kind of lost its, but I've been doing pretty good with it. Pretty consistent. I've been spinning it on my spinning wheel. It's a Ashford Kiwi. And yeah, I've just got it. I don't know. I just got the urge to do some spinning, and I just kind of got in a flow, and it just went fast. It's been going fast, so I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to finish it up, actually, and have Kirby do a little bit of teaching me some different plying techniques. So, perk of living with your fiber friend. So yeah, I wanted to show you that. Super excited. So I got basically one more of these filled up, and this much more to go. So we'll see how far that goes. I believe this was given to me just like when Candy gave me the spinning wheel. She gave me a bunch of fiber, and I believe this was some that was with it. Some of it was felted, but this has not been felted at all. It's been great to spin with. Easy, smooth. So yeah, that's about all I've got for knitting. I did get some Happy Mail. I'm super excited about this. And it's so funny. I was watching Needles at the Ready, and they were showing some bags they got. And it was some, the shop name is called Naughty Knitting Sacks. And it's the perfect name for it. And it's, they were showing off their bags, and I fell in love, and I had to get them. Then I heard they're from the lady that owns the shop, does the show. She's from Cumming, Georgia, and that's where my aunt and uncle live up there. And so I was like, I have to go and support the shop. So I got a couple of things. This one is kid friendly. The next one is not. Fair warning. But I saw this little. There's their logo, Naughty Knitting Sacks. This is some Harry Potter, and on the inside it's got the Marauders map on it. And so, yeah, just a little notions bag there. And then I also picked up this one, and I really like the outside. The inside is what makes them kind of quite naughty. And it's hilarious. So if you're offended by genitalia, you should not look anymore for a second. Or if there's little kids or whatever. But this is what's on the inside. And I just thought it was so funny. And I love that it's like a hidden little secret. And every time I open the bag, I have a little giggle. And this is perfect little size for like a hat or socks. So, to get that. So that was fun. I've also, I have ordered some yarn. Nancy Trilogy Yarn, she has a little, what did you call it? A Halloween advent based on Hocus Pocus. And I was like, oh, I have to get that. So I'm super excited about that too. It's not here yet, obviously, but I did order that. So yeah, I wanted to show those off to you. Let's see. I've been reading a lot too. So I finished a few books. I finished a book. I listened to this series with Kirby, and it was this book was called Sweet and Peace, and I think her name is Iona Andrews or something like that. But it's the Innkeeper's Chronicle, and the book was Sweet and Peace. So it was the second book in the series. Absolutely love these books. That I would definitely recommend you listen to on audio, because the lady who narrates them or reads them, it just brings the characters to life in a way that's just hilarious. I laugh in this book so much, and yeah, it's really cool concept, especially if you like things, that's kind of like fantasy a little bit, like witches and werewolves and vampires and that kind of stuff. You should definitely check those books out. I also finished this book, Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. I reluctantly finished this book because I loved this so much. I didn't want it to end, so I didn't want to finish it. But I was like, I gotta finish it because I want to know what happens. So this is the newest book in the Shadowhunters Chronicle by Cassandra Clare. So she has the original Shadowhunters, right? The Mortal Instruments series, and I think there's 6 of those. Then she did the Infernal Devices, and then the Dark Artifices, and I fell in love with the original series, the Mortal Instruments, and then the Infernal Devices. It was cool because it goes back, and the main characters of the Mortal Instruments, it's kind of like the story of their parents, I guess you could say. But the Infernal Devices and the Dark Artifices, I feel like had a lot of politics in them, which brought them down a little bit for me, because I don't like a lot, especially right now. There's so much politics crap going on, but there's a lot of that in there, and I feel like it slowed it down a little bit. They were still good books, but and they do a really good job about being very inclusive as far as there are gay, lesbian, trans characters in the books, and it's also that has some what would you call it? I guess interspecies. So there's the Shadowhunters who fall in love with what they call downworlders, or like a Shadowhunter with a with like a warlock, for example, and that kind of stuff. So I feel like that's pretty relevant to a lot of things. So she does a really good job with that kind of stuff and explaining it and helping you see things through their eyes, I would say. Especially in the Dark Artifices, she has a transgender character, and she does a really great job of helping people who may not understand where that person is coming from and why they feel the way they do about themselves and how they identify. And it's so hard for someone who's not transgender to understand that, and she does a really good job of having the character explain that, and without making it something that consumes the whole entire book. So she does a really good job with that, and also just the fact that she has those characters present in her books. I really commend her for that, because this world isn't just full of straight white people. So I really love when books have people from different cultures, different races, different I guess you could say different species even, and it's really cool. I really think that's how the world is. We're a melting pot of many different people, and that's what makes the human race so beautiful. And I think we need to embrace that a lot more. So I really commend her for being so inclusive in her characters. And that can be something really hard to write about. And so I really commend her for that. Anyway, that went way deeper than I expected it to. This purpose of all that anyway was this book has gotten back more to the basis of why I fell in love with the Shadowhunter series in the first place. The Mortal Instruments, there's a lot of like demon killing and adventure, and this got right back to that. There's a little bit of politics, but it doesn't consume chapters and chapters and chapters of the book. And so yeah, it was a really fun read, and so I really like that about this one. So this is actually my favorite book since the original Mortal Instruments series. So yeah, can't wait for the next one to come out. But yeah, I didn't want to finish it because it was so good, but at the same time I wanted to finish it because I wanted to know what happens. Have you ever read a book like that? Or am I just weird? Let's see. I'm also still listening to on audiobook. It's kind of my car audiobook listening. I'm listening to, I finished A Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't remember if I told you guys that. But it was 3.5, 4 stars, I guess. Probably 3.5. Yeah, probably maybe 3, 3.5. And I only say that because I don't know. I just felt like there was something lacking or something. There was something about it's a good book, but I think some of it may be that it felt a little slow because it's the first book of the series and she's having to set up and build this whole new world to you, right? So I felt like sometimes it got a little slow. But it was important that it was. Like, you needed to know that stuff to know what, to build the picture, build that world, right? And then I felt like the main character is a female, and I felt like she I don't know how to describe it. I just felt like she wasn't like a character flaw. Like, I don't think she was dull or anything. I just felt like I felt like she wasn't as strong of a main, like of a character at being a woman. I just don't feel I felt like she was more easily influenced, or just suddenly she was falling in love with these people who she had, or this person, at least, that she had, hated all this time and had taken her away from her family and all this kind of stuff. And it was just kind of odd. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say. But I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. But I was like, let me listen to the second book. And the second book is I think A Court of Mist and Fury, and I like this book a lot better. So it's at first I didn't think I was gonna like it. The first chapter kind of was like, oh, but I feel like the character is really becoming a stronger, I guess she's finding herself, and she's refusing to be what anybody else wants her to be but herself. And she doesn't want to be, like a trophy wife kind of thing. Like, she wants to be strong and a leader and develop herself and be part of things and be taken seriously and not left out of the loop just because she's a girl and things like that. So I really like the character she's becoming. It's a whole nother kind of I have fiber on my face. It's a whole nother kind of story, but it's really good. It's been much better, I feel like. So I'm happy I'm reading it. I'm trying to tell you about it without giving any spoilers, but I just like it better for whatever reason. Then I also bought a couple more books, and I started reading. I wanted, for some reason, I've never read a Stephen King book, and I'm not a huge fan of horror. I have plenty of nightmares on my own without needing help, so I typically don't read a lot of horror stuff, but I caved in and I bought Stephen King The Shining. I think that's a movie, right? But I haven't seen the movie either. So I've been reading it this morning. I'm about just starting chapter 15, so about 165 pages in or so. So far, I've been enjoying it. I mean, I started reading it and I haven't stopped for 15 chapters this morning, so it's a pretty good sign. But I think it's got some creepy something in it, but the scary stuff hasn't really happened yet. So I think it's coming though. So we'll see. I can't read I bought the small version because I'm like, I can't read this at bedtime because I will definitely have weird dreams. The other book I bought, and I've never read anything by this person, James Rollins, The Last Odyssey. And I just saw it and the cover caught my eye, and so I picked it up, and I'll just read you the thing if you want. It says, for eons, the city of Troy, whose legendary fall was detailed in Homer's Iliad, was believed to be myth until archaeologists in the 19th century uncovered its ancient walls buried beneath the sands. If Troy was real, how much of Homer's twin tales of gods and monsters, curses and miracles, the Iliad and the Odyssey, could also be true and awaiting discovery? In the frozen tundra of Greenland, a group of modern-day researchers stumble upon a shocking find, a medieval ship buried a half-mile below the ice. The ship's hold contains a collection of even older artifacts, tools of war, dating back to the Bronze Age. Inside the captain's cabin is a magnificent treasure that is as priceless as it is miraculous. A clockwork gold map with an intricate silver astrolabe. I don't know that word. Astrolabe embedded in it. The mechanism was crafted by a group of Muslim inventors, considered by many to be the Da Vinci's of the Arab world, brilliant scientists who inspired Leonardo's own work. Once activated, the moving map traces the path of Odysseus's famous ship as it sailed away from Troy. But the route detours as the map opens to reveal a fiery river leading to a hidden realm underneath the Mediterranean Sea. It is in the subterranean world of Tartarus, the Greek name for hell. In mythology, Tartarus was where the wicked were punished and monstrous titans of old imprisoned. When the word of Tartarus spreads and the cache of miraculous weapons said to be hidden there, tensions explode in a volatile region where Turks battle Kurds, terrorists wage war, and civilians suffer untold horrors. The phantasmagoric horrors found in Homer's tales are all too real and could be unleashed upon the world. Whoever possesses them can use their awesome power to control the future of humanity. Now Sigma Force must go where humans fear to tread. To prevent a tyrant from igniting a global war, they must cross the very gates of hell. So I really like mythology and stuff. I like that kind of history. So I thought this would be a fun book to read. And it's really not that long of a book. It's not even 500 pages, so it should be a quick read. So I haven't started it yet or anything, but I just popped it up. Sorry if that was boring, but that's what I got going on. So I just got a couple more things to talk about, and then I'm going to let everyone get back to their day. So I want to do, well, one thing is Summer of Hats Knit Along is still going strong. Keep knitting those hats. I donate them to my cancer patients. So feel free to, if you're interested in that, you can knit, crochet, sew, whatever you like. The hats and if you want scarves, you can put that too. They really love it. They really appreciate it. Their heads get cold. Even in the winter, in the South, we have a lot of air conditioning on, and so it's hot outside, but when you go indoors and their air is on, they get really cold there too. But in the summer, I think that we as knitters, we don't want to necessarily have something really heavy knitting, and hats are small to knit and crochet. So feel free to do that. The only thing I ask is that you label. There's no restrictions on what you use. Just label it for me what it's made out of. So if it's wool, put wool. If it's acrylic. That's so if people do have a wool sensitivity, they can know that before they pick one out. I don't sell these. I just give them away, just so you know. And then that also helps them know how to take care of the hat when they get it too. So, and they usually go pretty quick when I set them out. I actually set them out in batches because they go so quick. So they're much appreciated. So if you want to do that, every hat you send will get entered in for a giveaway. Each hat gives your name as an entry. The other thing that I really wanted to do is, I know that through this COVID-19, stay-at-home, social isolation, a lot of people have been turning in our community, our knitting community, have been turning in or going to podcasters to help keep them sane, basically. They go to them for entertainment and to give them something to look forward to and to do and inspire. And a lot of creators have been, our podcasters, creators have been, doing daily vlogs and different things like that. And what I was thinking I would love to do is, I would really like to do a little, I guess, a random act of kindness for a podcaster. And what I want to do is, I will, buy some yarn or and probably maybe pick something out of stash and that kind of stuff. And I would like for you guys to nominate a podcaster you feel that's really been there for everyone during this time. That's really helped you get through, maybe helped you not feel so lonely or so isolated, and kept you, entertained and that kind of stuff. It's just a lot of work to film and upload and put out content. It's a lot of work. And so I just want to do something for one of them to let them know that they're very much appreciated. So if you could, I would actually prefer you to either send me a message on Ravelry or Instagram, somewhere private. I don't want the person who if the person might read the comments, I want it to be a surprise, basically. So if you could just get in touch with me, either on Instagram or Ravelry or something like that, and I will kind of get some nominations together and come up with something to kind of send them as like a thank you. And if you have something you want to donate to that package, by all means, let me know. I'm happy to do that and send it along with everything too. So I just really want to do that for them, and I wish I could do it for all of them every podcaster, because I know there's a lot out there who have been, doing great things, but I can't afford to do it for everyone. But I thought it would be a fun way to like get you guys to your input and see who your favorite or what someone who you think would be worthy of getting maybe a project bag and some yarn and some maybe a couple projects for them, things like that, maybe some notions or something like that. So I want to get like a fun little just something together for them. So send me a message and let me know. And if I pick your nomination, I'll also send you a little treat as well. I think that would be fair. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you're all having a wonderful July. Can't believe it's July already, the middle of July. But yeah, I'm going to let you go and finish up some laundry, clean up the mess I made. And yeah, thank you guys for coming by and spending some time with Diamond and I. And I've been having some new subscribers, so I just wanted to also say, I should have done this at the beginning, but welcome. I really hope you enjoy looking at me and seeing what I'm knitting. It's just something fun I do. Don't do a whole lot. It's nothing fancy. Oi, what is it? Most people come to see Diamond. She's the star of the show. But also, there's a lot of you who've been with me since day one and have always been so supportive. And, I meant to say this when I was showing the spinning, but Fondant Fiber, she sent me a drop spindle and some fiber, and she was like, here, learn to spin. And that was one of the reasons that I got into spinning, and the reason I met my friend Kirby. And because I was like, hey, anyone on Facebook group, anybody willing to teach me how to use this stuff? So yeah, Fondant Fiber, she's on I think she's on Etsy. She may have her own site now, but she's in the UK, so definitely go check her out. Very sweet. So yeah, I just wanted to tell her, if you're watching, thank you so much for that. I've really been enjoying spinning lately, and it's been a fun journey, and I just really appreciate you. But I appreciate all of you guys who have stuck around this long. It's almost an hour. How I do that, I have no idea. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the next couple of weeks. Stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, and keep knitting. Right? Right, Diamond? Tell her keep knitting. Yeah, keep knitting. Bye, y'all.